Hey, you know this game? Yeah, you know this game. Yeah, well, it sucks. And you're wrong for liking it. Is what I'm not going to be saying in this video. So if you think this is going to be some rage bait rant, get out of here. This ain't for you. But what this is going to be is merely a critique of Halo 3's shortcomings. It's basically the idea that people who say this is the best Halo game ever made, I don't think they've played any other Halo game. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful, right? I just think a lot of people... This game was so hyped when it came out, a lot of people picked it up, played the campaign, said, yeah, it's fucking amazing. And it's still the favourite to this day because of nostalgia. And, you know, that's a big word that gets thrown around these days, but it's what I believe, you know? Because my favourite Halo game is Halo Combat Evolved. That is the first game I ever played, and to this day, the best game I've ever played. But you're not going to take me seriously trying to convince you that Halo 1 is the best Halo game when it's the first and only one I'd played for around 5 years. You're going to think I like it because of nostalgia, and, you know, I'd like to think that I'm objectively correct and it's this massively crafted experience, but, you know, you could probably make a 15-minute video about all the things Halo CE got wrong, and you'd probably be right. But that's why I'm doing a service by doing the same for Halo 3.
Ma'am, squad leaders are requesting a rally point. Where should they go?
To war.
But, oh no, let's get into it. This game came hot off the heels of Halo 2, which was a very, very, very hyped game. And as a result of that, the developers were very ambitious and had a bunch of ideas that didn't really pan out. And this Halo 2, as much as it was good, and it had no right being as good as it was with the development that it had, the side effects of that was it kind of got cut short 2/3 in. So Halo 3 had this job of basically taking the last act of Halo 2, and turning it into its own game. And it's kind of baffling how much this shows in the final product. Moving on to the story, it starts out, Chief's obviously on the ship from Halo 2 with that badass ending, sir, finishing this fight, and then he jumps off and lands in the jungle where Sergeant Johnson finds him. Okay. And then nothing happens for 4 missions. We find this teleporter, the Flood show up, the Flood leave again, and then we go to the Ark, and that's where the game actually begins. 5 missions in. Are you joking? Best Halo game, my ass. I'm going to explain some more about this. I mean, obviously, if they found the teleport to the Ark in the first mission, we wouldn't have a game. But the first 4 missions of this game has nothing fucking happening. Crow's Nest is the most insultingly boring mission in this entire franchise. I mean, Halo 4 is my least favourite Halo game, but I wouldn't call it boring. It's just bad. Halo 3 isn't bad, it's just sort of boring. You know what I mean? That's my stance on this game, because whenever I get to replay through it, I get to the Savo Highway and I think, Jesus fucking Christ, what is happening? What am I doing? Mostly because I've just played through Crow's Nest and want to eat a bomb and shit it back out again. But my point is, I think 4 missions in to any other Halo game, more stuff has happened than in Halo 3. Halo CE, by the 4th mission, the captain had been kidnapped, rescued, and you'd learnt that Halo is a super weapon and you're now trying to harness it for yourself. By the 4th mission of Halo 3, you found the thing you were looking for, and the Flood show up for no reason. And that's my main problem with this game. The pacing of the story just isn't it. Feels like the whole game should have been spread out a little bit more, rather than getting to all the good shit halfway in. I mean, once you get there, it's fantastic, and the plot is pretty good, but what this game absolutely fumbles, in my opinion, is the characters. Halo 2 had this amazing writing for his characters, and you wouldn't even think they're made by the same people playing this game. I mean, Chief is still as good as ever. It's kind of hard to fuck up the Master Chief. I'm looking at you, Halo 4. But, you know, let's go through them, right? We have Cortana, you know, arguably the second main character of Halo at this point. Yeah, she's not in it. She's just not in it till the very end of the second to last mission. And I get that's just the way the plot goes. She was left on high charity, but it doesn't excuse the fact that the second biggest character in all of Halo is in 2 missions, and she doesn't even do anything for those 2 missions. And what do they give you of Cortana throughout, you know, the first half of the game? Well, they pause the gameplay and make you listen to a little speech she has that makes no sense. Why? Why not just halfway through a cutscene cut to Cortana so we can see what she's up to? You know, then she's in the game a bit, but she's not, you know, intrusive. This way, she's not in the game, and when she is, she's just pausing the gameplay and making you listen to dialogue you don't want to hear, because why would you? You're in the middle of a fucking level. So, in my opinion, Cortana just is bad in this game. She's not in it, and when she is, she's annoying. Who's next? Arbiter. Well, the Arbiter shows up, and then he's with you for most of the game, and then he kills Truth, and that's all he does. The rest of the game, he stands around, and he kills Covenant. And this is a common complaint I've seen with this game as well, so I know I'm not the only one, but the Arbiter was practically the main character of Halo 2. And in this game, he's nothing more than another Marine, in my opinion. He just stands around and does nothing. Him and Chief speak to each other once at the start of Floodgate, and that is it. People act like these two are fucking homies. They spoke to each other once in Halo 3 and once in Halo 2. Why didn't you just have them be bros? Why didn't you have this game be about both of them? You know? That would have been better, especially since the Arbiter was a fan favourite character at this point. So, the Arbiter's not here. Who's next? Oh, Miranda fucking Keyes. The worst character in this trilogy, thanks to this game. In Halo 2, she wasn't anything too special, but, you know, she was kind of this strong, badass lady who had her own ship and, you know, managed to actually do things. Didn't she, like, punch the Arbiter in that game? I could have sworn. In this game, she's gone from actually being kind of badass to just thinking she's badass and really not being badass. I mean, get this. She dies in this game because she thinks she's more badass than she is. That is how she dies. She rocks up, points a fucking shotgun at the High Priest of the Covenant while there's brutes all around her, and then gets shot in the back because of course she did. What the fuck did she think was gonna happen when she rocked up and points a shotgun at Truth? Jesus Christ! What were the writers on? Okay, who's next? Oh yeah, Sergeant Johnson. He's just a different fucking character in this game from Halo 2, where he was a different fucking character than Halo 1. He's just like more depressed in this game, and he's not like the funny man he once was, which I get if you like that. You know, I don't need a funny man character, but when changing the tone of the game changes how characters act, and it kind of makes me feel like that it just makes me feel like it's a completely different character, which I shouldn't feel in a direct sequel. I mean, this game takes place, what, a couple weeks after Halo 2, and Johnson acts nothing like he does in that game. So, he didn't even, like, look the same, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, you know, all the Halo games have slightly different art styles, but he feels like a different character, and that's not to say he's a bad character. I like Johnson in this game, but comparing him to Halo 2, yeah, he was much better. But I've established the plot's alright, I'm not a fan of the characters, and even the plot doesn't get going until halfway in. How about the gameplay? Well, this is tricky, because this game simultaneously has some of the best missions in the entire franchise, and some of the absolute worst. I mean, Crow's Nest. What were they thinking? Sierra 117 is the worst first mission in the franchise, maybe bar like the Halo 5 one, but even then, I quite like that mission, so yeah, screw that. Savo Highway is okay, it's your bog standard Warthog level. I'm still not really a fan of it. The Storm is shit boring. Like, it has the cool Scarab fight, but the Ark has a better Scarab fight, so I don't really care. Floodgate is pretty good, but that kind of leads me on to my next problem. The Covenant aren't very fun to fight in this game. Now, I honestly wish I could tell you why, but I've never been able to put my finger on it. There's just something about this game that it just doesn't feel satisfying or fun to kill the Covenant. It feels like I'm going from room to room and killing more guys, which is what every Halo game is at its core. But this one, more so than any, just feels like I'm killing dudes. And I think it's a combination of a few things. I don't think the brutes are very fun to fight. They don't like dodge or weave out the way like elites. They're not quick and nimble and powerful. They're just, yeah, I've got a lot of health and sometimes I'll run at you. That's all they do. And that's sort of what they were in Halo 2, but we had the elites to complement that. But in this game, it's like half of an enemy. You know, no encounters feel... what's the word here? It don't feel like I've accomplished anything. It don't feel satisfying when I kill a brute, because all I need to do is punch him and then shoot him in the head. You know, that's what elites are like. You could use the noob combo, but at least that felt satisfying to pull off, you know? Killing enemies in this game doesn't feel satisfying. But, I'll say, the Flood were quite fun to fight in this game. I really like the Flood. I think they're the best in the franchise, and I prefer fighting them to the Covenant. That doesn't mean Cortana is a good level. I'm not going to sit here for 20 minutes and complain about it. You know why it's not a good level. But it's just not a very good level. Moving on, the weapons. I mean, I don't really like the weapons in this game either. The sound design just took a massive hit. I mean, listen to the sound of the BR from Halo 2 and listen to it in Halo 3 and then try and tell me that the Halo 3 one sounds better. It sounds like a fucking BB gun. And so does the assault rifle. The pistol kind of sounds like the first game, but it's not nearly as good as the first game. And they didn't really add any new weapons. I mean, the Spartan laser's always fun, but I'm not a fan of that gun. But I know that's just me. That's completely subjective. And then what else do we have? The Gravity Hammer, great addition, and that's pretty much it. You have the Mauler and the Spiker. Who fucking cares? Not me. So yeah, two actual weapons that we actually care about added into the game. It's something. But it's just not it. Halo 2 felt so exciting the first time I played that with all the new guns added, because they added so many in that game. Like, I can't even begin to name them all. On top of dual wielding, you had the BR and SMG, you had the carbine, the beam rifle. I can't think of any more now, but there was tons. The fucking Sentinel beam. I could go on, but my brain's having a fart. But you know what I mean. I'm not saying it's leaps and bounds ahead of Halo 3, but that just felt more exciting to me the first time I played it. And again, not to say anything about this game is bad, it's far from it, but to claim that this is the best Halo game ever made isn't really it. Level design is okay. I just think it was a missed opportunity with your brand new console not to go back to the sort of open-endedness of the first game. Because this game tries to make you think that it's open-ended, but it's not. You know, with Halo 1 it felt more like an actual world that you were going through. With Halo 3 it'll give you this massive area to fight in, and then like one little exit tucked away somewhere for you to find. Like, for example, the Scarab fight on the Ark. You show up, you fight the Scarab, and then it's literally this little... You have to get out your tank and go up this little corridor up to this building. In this massive area. It doesn't, like, carry on. It doesn't feel like an actual world, you know? It feels like you're going through a level in a video game. Not to say the level design in this game is bad. Like I said, it's got some of the best levels in the franchise, but it just, again, doesn't really do it for me. Again, there are things I like about this game. I think the plot's good. Some of the cutscenes make me tear up, man. Sergeant Johnson, bro, I missed you. But some decisions are just absolutely brain dead. Like, the fact they butchered Commander Keys that hard in the space of one game is honestly laughable. Like, you think Halo 5 ruined some of this game's characters? Halo 3 actually ruined some of these characters. Like, to the point of no return. Like Commander Keys. They killed her off in the most stupid way possible. And I just, coming off Halo 2, I don't understand how people can act like this is the best Halo game ever made. I really don't. Each to their own. Like I said, my favourite CE because I grew up playing it. So if this is your favourite because you grew up playing it, I fully salute you, and I don't disagree, because obviously it's going to be your favourite. You have the most connection to it, and that's more important. You know, rather than looking at a game objectively and trying to find out what's right and wrong about it, it's how much fun you have playing it at the end of the day. I don't have that much fun playing Halo 3, so I'm not a fan of it. But you might, you know, and you might not have fun playing Halo CE, and I'd get why, you know. But I just think it's important to look at things through a bit of a more critical lens sometimes. You know, I'm not trying to tell you that I'm right and you're wrong. If you think all the characters were improvements from Halo 2, well, you know, you're fucking stupid. No, I'm kidding. That's your opinion, you know. You could make several arguments. I could sit here and make an argument why this is the best Halo game. Anyone could. And I could make an argument to why it's the worst Halo game. But I just think it's neither, you know. Anyway, if you've made it this far, thanks for listening. I've been Shredder. It's been a pleasure. And I'll catch you in the next.